everyone, it's the Healing Mom, and today I'm going to be reviewing mood applications to help you manage anxiety and depression. Now, these are mood tracking apps, which I've not always had a great experience with because typically they have in the past tended to assume that moods work on a scale from 0 to 10. 10 being amazing, everything is fine, and 0 being things are really bad. Most mood tracking applications I've looked at also tend to give you just one option for a mood that matches your whole day. So Saturday would have one mood as your predominant mood, and it would show you a chart based on your week, based on the one entry you're allowed to have that day, or the last entry you're allowed to have that day. And I just don't think those are realistic expectations. Moods can be a mixture of conflicting feelings. You can be excited and nervous and apprehensive and optimistic all at the same time. Some of those are positive, some of those are deemed negative. You can also have multiple moods in the course of a day. I have so many moods just watching TV or eating a donut. So what I'm looking for ultimately is something that actually takes a more realistic view of how we experience emotions. And the reason I'm doing this is because it actually is helpful to take a moment out of your day, or multiple moments out of your day, and check in with yourself. And if you're not really used to naming your emotions, or if you're someone who likes to get things done and pushes your feelings aside, like me, seeing a bunch of emotional words written down, it can actually make it much easier to go, that's what I'm feeling. And once you feel it, once you name it, it becomes easier to process it and accept it. So today's application is a mood tracking app that also adds CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. And what it does is, if you're feeling great, all well and good. But if you're not feeling so good, then the CBT part kicks in, and it kind of acts like a little a mindful friend to help you reframe or gently challenge some of those emotions. Like, do you really, really believe that? Or is that just your projection going on? I think it's done a pretty nice job, and I hope you enjoy this review. If you do use a mood tracking app, drop a comment below and let me know what your experience was, what it was, if you find it useful. And thanks for watching, and please hit like.
So the first thing you see is that you select your avatar. I've just chosen the one that actually kind of looks a little bit most like me. And what it does is it scans your mood by using your camera to scan your face. I don't think this is super reliable, but some people might like it, especially if you're not particularly good at tuning in and noticing how you feel. So after it's asked for your mood, or it's scanned your mood, it then gives you a bunch of contexts. They have an option for adding in your own context under other. I didn't see that when I was testing this out the first time. I just wrote in what I was doing, started naming my feelings as I was testing this out. And then it gives you a selection of feelings. Now, I like that there's a slide for positive and negative feelings, because like I've said previously, you don't feel one thing at one time, you feel a mixture of things. The other nice thing about being able to see a bunch of words is that you may not actually think of a word until you see it. I also like that there is an intensity slider, because not all feelings are equal. Sometimes you feel very excited but a little bit nervous, or very self-conscious but a little bit optimistic. So that was quite nice as a touch, and that's all well and good, but I want to see what happens when I manually enter in my own feelings, because it's fine when it does the face scan, it may not know what you're actually feeling, but let's say it's a manual entry and I put in some more disturbing feelings and more negative experiences. So here's me in the manual mode, and I'm just hypothetically typing in some really crazy scenario. And we can just zoom forward from here. So I'm going to the negative feelings. I'm not having anything positive in this scenario. I'm just moving on to the negative slider. So now the CBT part comes in, because it says what thought contributed to your negative feelings. This is the cognitive behavioral therapy approach. It asks you to assess what you think contributed to your feelings, and you may be accurate, you may be completely off because you're still in a highly emotional state when you're doing this, but it's good to think about it. And then when you're done, this is the good part, it asks you to stop and look for any thought traps, and you can see some of the thought traps here. I'm scrolling through a little bit slower. It's blaming, catastrophizing, downplaying positives, emotional reasoning, fortune telling, intolerance of uncertainty, mind reading, labeling, and should and must have type thoughts. And then it asks you to consider, is there a way to avoid falling into this thought trap in the future? Then gives you a chance to reassess your feelings after having assessed your thought trap. It then gives you a summary on the thought traps that were active in this day's or this particular entry. And that can be useful if you're doing a review over a period of, say, a week or a month. If you notice frequent thought traps appearing, you can be more mindful of them when you're having a bad moment.
So there you have the review. I actually think this app is very well designed. Next week, I'll review an app that takes a different approach with helpful actions you can take after reviewing your mood entries. So I'll see you then. Take care.